Henry I. Before Henry I was on the throne, his brother William II was on the throne. Both, and also their other brother Robert, were children of William the Conqueror. Then one day William II was hunting in New Forest, and then an arrow shot by his friend Walter Tyrrell, or William Tyrrell, hit him and he died. And the speed with which now his brother, Henry I, came onto the throne, gave rise to some people having the suspicion that that was maybe a planned assassination. But now, in the year 1100, there is now Henry I ruling in England. And as already his father William the Conqueror and his brother William II, now Henry I has a rivalry with Robert, the Duke of Normandy. The Duke of Normandy had already attacked with William the Conqueror, he had attacked with William II, and now he attacks also invading England. He invades also against Henry I. But we're making the Treaty of Alton in the year 1101, and Robert, his brother, stays as the Duke of Normandy, and he is the King of England. Henry II is King of England in the year 1106. Robert and he are again fighting and having battles, and then Henry I wins again Robert and imprisons him for life in Cardiff Castle. So, that is the story, and now he becomes the Duke of the Normandy as well, King of England and Duke of Normandy. And he is ruling, he is governing, he is administrating all there, and there's written in this book that some Ajoun region or something was lost while it was ruled in the Normandy under Robert, and now Henry I tries to regain them, but the growing power of Louis IX, the French king, stops him from doing that, and Henry II comes into more and more debt, majorly by the Pope, and he fears now excommunication, so he stops with these war adventures or war doings, and he starts now to administer and govern. He's then also called in the book that he was then called the cleric. Now, and he makes reforms, for example, is when the reform done the pipe rolls, which were then for 700 years until 1834 in use. They were about concerning the crown finances, and he also has then the Chancellor of Exchequer, Roger Salisbury. Already directly after he came onto the throne, he imprisoned the Bishop of Durham, the Rufold Flamber, in the Tower of London, who escapes then from the Tower of London. Now he is now governing and ruling, and he marries now Edith, the daughter of Malcolm III, who seems to be the Scottish king, and who is also the niece of Edgar the Earthling, who seems to have been a Saxon king in England previously, and that gives him stronger ties with Scotland and also with England, because he was the son of William the Conqueror, who had come over from France, from northern France, from Normandy to England. And now he's ruling and governing, and he has now with her, Edith, 2 sons and 2 daughters, but at the end of the day, I don't know how it's calculated, where is it that he has only 1 legitimate son. He has also more children who are not legitimate. Now, just 1 legitimate son, who one day comes with a ship from France over to Britain. He has written the pilot was drunk, stirred the vessel against the rock, and the ship is sinking, and Henry II is heartbroken over that his son had drowned. And now he tries to convince the barons to accept then his daughter Matilda on the throne. Then in the year 1135, Henry I dies of food poisoning near Rouen in France. So that's the story of Henry I, the main one here written in the book. Now, how goes it then a little bit on? There is now Matilda, his daughter, and Stephen. Both are grandchildren of William the Conqueror. And the barons are supporting Stephen on the throne, but some are then switching and starting to support Matilda, the granddaughter of William the Conqueror and also the daughter of the previous King Henry I. And they are now making civil war for 19 years. After 18 years of civil war, so 19 years in total civil war and 18 years of civil war, then Henry Plantagenet, the son of Matilda, comes to England, and he reaches then an agreement with Stephen that on the death of Stephen he will become the King of England, which happens 1 year later, in the year 1154. And in the year 1154, the grandson of Henry I, Henry Plantagenet, becomes the King of England as Henry II. And that is according to the history of the kings and queens of England and Scotland, mainly written on the page 38. The positions and views expressed are the ones of the source and don't necessarily align with my own or with the ones of the entity sperm.